Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, July 23rd, and I wanted to record kind of a little mini session as a follow-up to the virtual session last night because I felt like we ended with a couple of kind of unanswered questions, and so I did a little bit of research after ending the session yesterday and again this morning, and I think I have discovered some things that you might find interesting. So, I want to just tell you that I did upgrade to Smart Notebook 11, so that's why my desktop might look a little bit different to you today, and I'm really glad that I did. I hadn't done it in the past because I knew that I was going to have to teach you guys, during the boot camp, the different features and things, and I wasn't familiar with Smart Notebook 11, so I didn't want to dive in right away. But after seeing what it can do and the different upgrades that it has, I decided to go ahead and take the plunge. And I have to tell you that I'm really glad that I did, because I found that even though there are some new features that I'm not entirely familiar with yet, just because I haven't explored them, a lot of those buggy kind of issues with the flash files are gone with the upgrade to 11. So last night I was having some problems using that hotspots flash file, and since upgrading to 11, it works perfectly for me. So I think that the problem, we thought that maybe it was a Mac problem with the hotspots, but in reality I think it's a Smart Notebook 10 problem, and that upgrading 11 will fix that, that problem as well as any other potential problems with the flash files in Smart Notebook 10. The other thing I want to talk about is the recorder feature. That's what I'm using right now. I'm actually using it for the first time today, and so far I really like it. One thing to kind of take note of is that this is different than the page recording tool. The recorder feature is actually what would allow, it's allowing me to record my voice right now. It's going to allow me to kind of go into other windows that you'll be able to follow along. It sort of reminds me of like Jing or Screencast or something like that. So the page recording tool that's under the formatting tab is kind of just like allowing you to set a reset button for Smart Notebook. The recorder feature itself is what is more interactive, allows you to record the audio, allows you to switch between windows and that kind of thing. So in Smart Notebook 11, how to get into this page recorder is that it's actually not available in Smart Notebook itself. You have to go into your board tools, and then under Open, you just click on Recorder, and it brings up a little black box that'll allow you to, decide if you want to record your audio and make a couple other option changes. So that's what I'm using right now to record this session. All right, so the difference between a background and a theme, and this question kind of came up, I think Tiffany brought it up towards the end of the session last night. And what her question was how do I add a background to more than one page at a time? And the simple answer is that you can't. A background can only be applied to one page at a time. Now that's different than a theme. A theme can be applied to more than one page at a time, and it actually gives you that option when you go to drag and drop from the gallery, and you'll see what it looks like in a minute. So this was, as I was kind of going over how this works, this is the page that I found that I thought was most helpful to me. So this is kind of a lesson for inserting a theme, which we all know how to do. It's actually this little note at the bottom that I found most helpful. And so it says, the main difference between a theme and a background is that themes control the formatting of any typed text you add to the page. Another difference is that backgrounds can only be applied to single pages, whereas themes can be applied to multiple pages. You can identify a background by the folded bottom corner of the page thumbnail. So do you see how in this little example down here, the bottom right-hand corner is folded up on the little clip on a background, versus on a theme, there are no corners folded up at all. So that's kind of how you can tell the difference. So again, a background is only going to be added to one page at a time. A theme will give you the option when you drag and drop it if you want to add it to every single page in the presentation, if you only wanted to add it to the current page, or it actually gives you the option to add to the current group. So that can be kind of helpful. So let me go back into my Smart Notebook and talk a little bit about the difference. So here I am in the gallery, and basically my problem that I was having last night is that every time I was doing a search, no matter what I was doing a search for, I wasn't getting any themes to show up as options. So in order to find the themes and find out where they are, I just kind of started going through the gallery essentials. And so I found under people and culture, Background and themes is open right now, but that's just because I had it open. The default would be that it looks kind of like this. And so you'd choose, am I looking for a picture? Am I looking for a file or a page or a background or theme? So I'm going to hit the drop down for backgrounds and themes. So here we go. So you see this autumn leaves, no corners are flipped up at all. So this means that it's a theme. If you start scrolling through, you see, candy cane large, you see the page corner folded up. So this means that it's a background. So if I was to drag and drop this background onto here, it would just show up. It just automatically just drags and drops right onto that page. No questions asked. If I was to drag and drop this one, the sun rays, that doesn't have that option. Okay, so now it's giving me these choices. Insert theme. Please choose one of the following theme usage options. Insert theme on all pages, insert theme on pages of the current group, insert theme on current page only. I'm going to say all pages right now. Okay, so just like that, now it's covered up the candy cane, and if I go back into my page sorter tab, you'll see that it's inserted it onto all, that I only have 2 pages, but it's on both of them. It's also changed the font of the words that I had on the first screen. So that's what it was talking about in this PDF when it says the main difference between a theme and a background is that themes control the formatting of any typed text you add to the page. So I think the best comparison that I can make for this is to Microsoft PowerPoint. With PowerPoint, when you add different themes, it changes the font styles and colors, and sometimes it even changes the bullets. Like maybe you had a circle before as a bullet, and then you change the theme, and all of a sudden your bullets are rectangles or whatever. So that's kind of how I would compare themes in Smart Notebook. So here, we'll look at another example. So say I come up here, I'm going to actually remove this theme. So if I go into Format, Theme, Remove Theme, and I'm going to say From All Pages, let's get rid of it. So now my font is back to the original, and the theme itself has gone away. So say now I'm going to add shamrocks. I'm going to do it to all pages. And you see it's now added, it's added the background. Where are the shamrocks? There they are. And then it's also changed the font to something else. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind with the themes. So now let me go back and we'll talk a little bit about removing themes, which we just did is easy. So you just go into Format, Theme, Remove Theme, and then I'm going to say From All Pages. Removing a background is the one that's more quirky. So when I'm going to go onto a blank page here. I'm going to go into my gallery, and we'll find a background to add. So remember, I'm looking for one that has the folded up corner. So here, this Santa one has the folded up corner. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I'm going to go ahead and add it. So I just added it now, and so here it is. And remember before we talked about how the only way that you can remove a background from a slide is to delete that slide altogether. So that's kind of the case. I'm pressing undo, nothing's happening, it's just going back to here. And okay, so it did remove it, but it did it kind of in a weird way. So let's try again. Let me see how I did that. So I had Santa, I dragged and dropped Santa. If I click on remove or undo, nothing happens. So try clicking again. Okay, so we went back to the shamrocks theme. And so now I have the shamrocks on all pages. So like I said, when you want to remove a theme, it's pretty easy. You're just going into Format, Theme, Remove Theme, from either all pages or the page that you're on, and it goes away. Removing a background can be a little bit more difficult. So I was like, there is a way. I did get rid of Santa eventually, but really I think your best bet is, when you're on a page and you've added a background and you don't want that anymore, really your best bet is just to delete the slide by going to the little delete page. Okay? So, so Tiffany's question that kind of sparked this was, how do I add a background to more than one page, because when you add a background, it doesn't actually give you the option to add it to more than one page or add it to the group. It's only themes that automatically gives you that option. So here's kind of like a little workaround that I've discovered, and that is, so I'm gonna go to a blank page. I'm gonna do a new screen. I'm gonna go into the gallery. So say I find something, say I want these clouds. And so you can see the corners folded up, so it's just a background. It's not going to give me the option to add it to more than one page, but I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop. So here it is. So say this is something that I really like and I do want to be able to make it into a theme. All you'd have to do is come up into, is it format? So format, theme, then create new theme from page. What it's going to ask me to do is customize the text style that I would like this, my custom theme to have. So say I really like to use, I don't know, Britannic Bold, and I want it to be 26 font. Okay, so whatever. You don't have to change this if you don't want to at this point in time. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it Clouds. And I'm going to click on Save. So now it automatically just dropped me down to the gallery tab, and it put me into my content. So it automatically just dumped me right into my content. So these are pictures that I had added previously. Remember during one of the other sessions, those are pictures that I had already added. But now this background and theme, it's actually created a theme for me that I just customized. So it started off as a background that could only be added to, one page at a time, but now I've just made it a theme. So if I was to go back into my original, go into my gallery, go into my content, drag and drop, now I do get the option, do I want to insert the theme on all pages? Okay, so basically what I just did there, and so now there's my Britannic Bold font. What I just did there is that I took what was a stock background and I made it into a theme. I kind of like forced it into a theme by going to Format, Theme, Create New Theme. And I did from page because I already had it in front of me. There actually is a really great video that I found online from Tech, which goes over, how to create your own custom theme. It kind of just reiterates what I just did, except he goes in, he actually like creates his own like banner and custom theme for himself. And I have added that video as a sample on the, as a resource on the Moodle page. So this fifth one down, how to add a customized theme to the My Content folder, this will actually take you out to that Tech video. And it's going, but it's going very slowly. So again, I'm not going to go through, that whole thing on here, but here's the link for it. Okay, so I hope that you found this helpful. And, as always, let me know if you have questions. Thanks. Bye.